Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. So today is not my usual tea break day, but I will get into a little bit of why that is in a little bit. But first of all, for anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Lindsey Hall, and I'm an intimacy and empowerment coach. And what that means for me, oh, hi, Sherry. So what that means for me is that I love to help people deepen an intimacy with themselves and with others, really own their power and their pleasure, and live a joyful life that they absolutely love. And one way that I do this work is through doing these weekly tea break chats. And so I come on and I have a little bit of life chat about what's been going on, lessons that have come up, challenges I've been having, celebrations, like basically kind of, life in the week of an intimacy coach, and then I answer your questions. So when I said that today isn't my normal tea break day, it's because life has been lifing lately. So that was what I said yesterday when I needed to push it back for a day. I usually do these on Wednesdays. I'm very committed to doing them, but yesterday was just a day, and I needed to have a little bit of extra time just for me. And so some of the stuff that's going on, well, actually quite a lot of it, is quite personal. So I won't go into the details of it, but honestly, the details don't even matter because the situation is relatable to so many of us in so many parts of life. But basically, there has been lots and lots of growth going on in so many parts of life. So good that life is life in. So I'm not into astrology stuff. I don't know if there's like some astrology reason for this or if it's just the thing right now. Yeah, life's lifing for a lot of us. And that is actually, in fact, that is the point, is that I've got a bunch of my own stuff going on, but a bunch of people around me have stuff going on too. And so I'm holding a lot of space for loved ones. I'm receiving some of their stuff. Some of it I am holding. Some of it I am practicing holding boundaries for. And boundaries doesn't mean like, no, take your stuff and go away. But it's stuff like, yes, I have capacity to hear your stuff. I want to help you. I want to receive it. I just want to witness it. And I have to put energetic boundaries in place to know where to stop taking it on as mine. I have to have these boundaries in place that like, okay, I'm here for you, but this is yours and this is mine. And there's a lot of new boundaries, I guess, that are practicing boundaries going in place in terms of that stuff right now. So holding that space for others, being there in their big thing, learning new skills myself in this arena. So I am a very classic fixer. I want to fix things. I always have. It is, it's not inherently a bad thing, but it absolutely is not the answer in a lot of circumstances. And I am working really hard on learning that. But so when people in my life have these big things going on, people that I really care about, I'm like, I really want to help you fix it. I want to help find solutions. I want to tell you what to do. I want you to then go do it. Or I want to do the thing and I really want to fix things. And resisting that impulse, resisting the need to fix is also very energetically draining for me. And I've been practicing this for a while now, and I'm much better at it than I used to be, but also it's still strong inside of me. And this week that's been coming up a lot. It's also been coming up with other people in my life. So other people wanting to fix things as well. And I'm using my coaching skills then, and this is all my personal life, but I'm using my coaching skills to be like, I understand that you are a fixer just like I am. And we cannot fix this. We can be there and support and witness and love. And we have to step back and not try to fix. And that's popping up all over the place too. And yes, for growth. So this is exactly the two things that I wanted to really pull out of this week. So with all of this stuff going on, the two things I really wanted to pull out on this chat were so what am I doing about it? Like, how am I handling all of this lifing? And number two was to just highlight what signs of growth can look like, because this is very much like I am seeing so much signs of my growth and my intimacy work showing up in the ways that I'm handling this. And it's different than like, business coaches where it's like, I can see growth because I have more clients or more followers or more revenue or something, if it's like, it's not, I can lift heavier weights or run faster. Intimacy growth can be harder sometimes if you don't know what you're looking for. So I want to pull out the growth stuff too. But first of all, I'll go to like what it is that I am doing for myself. These two things are actually linked. They're not separate. The what I'm doing for myself is also evidence of the growth. But so first of all, really, really, as much as I can, tuning into my body and what I need. And a lot of that has been, so this has just been tiring. All of this energetic output that is going on, both like internal energy usage and external outpouring of energy, it's tiring. It's so very tiring. So I'm listening to that. I've been having earlier nights in bed. Luckily this week was already a pretty open week on my calendar, and I was already planning to get caught up on some training videos. So this has been, I've done even more training videos than I was intending to. It's been a wrap up in a big cozy blanket and watch training videos in bed or on the couch all wrapped up. Really just letting myself sink into the tasks that will keep my business going. These are things I needed to do anyway. So things that will keep my business going, but in a way that feels most supportive, in a way that's like, okay, this is not the week for me to be producing loads of content and writing massive emails and coming up with a brand new program idea. That's not what's happening right now. This is I'm going to cozy in. I'm going to get caught up on receiving the information that I know I want to receive and surrounding myself with this feel-good stuff and letting it all soak in. So there's been lots of that. I took a bath in the middle of the day the other day, which some of you might consider that totally normal. Others might be like, what? Mind blown for a daytime bath. But it felt luxurious to me to do that. So I took a really long daytime bath. It's been stuff like reaching out for extra support. Oh, hi, Claire. So I am part of a coaching mastermind. And on that call, we usually have, so the way it works, some of the calls is that we have 7 minutes each to ask a coaching question, and then we get our own coaching, and then you also get the benefit of hearing everybody else's coaching, and you're there in sisterhood and support for everybody else, and it's this beautiful, wonderful thing that I love, love, love. But this week, I knew that that was like overkill for me, so I did something that was really edgy for me. I went on the call, and I said, I just need to be a sponge right now. Can you please reflect back to me the magic that you see in me? And let me tell you, it was a little bit overwhelming and so very magical to hear these amazing women saying all this nice stuff about me. And I just needed that to soak it in. It wasn't that with all of this stuff going on, I wasn't like feeling down on myself, but I also was just feeling a bit depleted and I needed the magic boosted up again. So asking for these people who I love and admire to fill me and boost me with, and it was with my own magic. I was like, please tell me what you see in me. So that gave me such a boost. And then the second piece that was edgy on that was rather than staying on the call and being there in support of everybody else, I said, and now I really need to go to bed. And I jumped off the call and went to bed. And like a past version of me would not have done that, would have very much felt like, oh, what are they going to think of me if I disappear off the call? They're going to think that I'm just here to, like, I'm so selfish. I'm just here taking from them and I'm not giving back support. Like, I can't possibly do that. But current version of me was like, no, this is really me honoring my needs right now. I really need to go to sleep after that. And it was exactly what I needed and gave everybody else permission to do the same. Like, that is what the point of this container is that we are there to learn how to meet our needs and ask for our needs to be met. And it was wonderful. And so what I've been doing is that listening to my own body's needs, asking for the support I need. I've been leaning on my coaches quite a lot in Voxer. Again, asking for that support, talking things over, and really just making all of that okay. So I've been working with a personal trainer for the last couple months, which is amazing. Pippa, what's her Instagram handle? Pippa _PGPT. She is an incredible online personal trainer. I adore her. And all of that, like the putting in place my physical training and the nutrition and the eating properly has been helping me massively with all of the, like, it helps match up the internal and external and physical stuff in my life. But I needed a break from that this week too. I just needed to put all of it down, even though I know it's so super helpful. It's like, this is anything that is non-essential. It's just got to go right now. So I had a chat with her and told her what was going on. And again, just had that bit of breathing room to give myself space. So all of these things have just been really being like, I love all of this big stuff that's going on. Okay, I don't always love the stuff itself that's happening, but I love that I can hold it. I love that I can feel this growth in myself and in others. And it's like, oh my God, I am here for this universe. Like, I am pushing edges and growing, and I am so here for this. And I know what I need to do to support myself in order to make that okay, in order to hold all of that. So in terms of like the growth that's visible then, like, how do you see the evidence of growth? So a big part of that is that asking for what I need. Like I said, a past version of me would not have done that. I would not have asked them to tell me nice things about me. I would not have been comfortable hanging up the phone at the end. I would have been like, no, I have to stick around to do the rest of this. I can't possibly receive something without the giving. Like, that wouldn't have been okay with me. So that's a big sign of growth. Letting myself slow down, do the comfy things, watch the videos in the comfy clothes, all of that. That's another really good sign of growth. But the way it's showing up as well in these relationships is, well, first of all, another one sign of growth is the trust in myself. So with the stuff that is going on, there's past versions of me and what I believe a lot of the rest of the world would be like, there's an obvious decision to make here. This is the path that you should take. This is what you should do. If that happens, do that. And I've really been coming to grips with closing out that old view, closing out that view that might be what the masses think. But let me check in with me and really feel what my answer is here. And it's a little bit scary. I've got to be honest with you. Leaning this heavily into my own self-trust is still pretty new and still kind of scary. And hence what I'm leaning on my coaches for. I'm not asking them for the answers. I'm asking them to remind me that I can trust myself. And I'm going, yeah, if I get quiet and I listen to myself, I know what to do right now. I know how to go forward with this. I know all these things. Part of that was I moved a boundary. I had set a boundary with somebody and then reevaluated it. And you guys know, if you've been around here for a while, you know I'm big on boundaries and I'm big on maintaining boundaries because setting them is no use if you don't maintain them. But it's also so okay to reevaluate your boundaries. Sometimes that means bringing them in closer. Sometimes it means extending them. But trusting myself that I don't have to keep that boundary just because I said it. I am allowed to change my mind if a different boundary feels better now. And being clear that, is that change of boundary that I'm doing right now, is that because of people-pleasing tendencies? Is that because of a fear? Is that because of something else? Or is that because genuinely that boundary wasn't the right answer for me? And really getting more and more comfortable going in, checking with myself, trusting my answers on that. So like I said, this whole experience of really, really trusting myself more and more is very much a sign of growth that I wouldn't have been able to do not that long ago. Also, really, really not running away from the discomfort of things, from hard conversations. I have been one of those people, like a lot of us, who hates conflict, absolutely would avoid it at all costs. Like, I really don't like conflict because it's scary. And I have been leaning into the uncomfortable conversations more and more. I know you might not want to hear this and you might get mad at me for saying it and it still needs to be said. Or I understand that this might trigger something in you and I'm conscious of that and I am setting up the conversation in the best possible way, but I'm not going to not say the thing just because it might trigger you. I trust that this container is strong enough that we can handle that. And that, again, that comes back to the trust piece. But so these conversations that are being had are evidence of growth. There was something else I was going to say on that was evidence of growth. Let me just have a drink. Let me think about that. Oh yeah, the getting triggered in conversations and not running away. So rather than being like, no, I'm done. And specifically, I used to, past versions of me, would come up against conflict in a conversation and say, my system's overwhelmed. I need a break. I need to walk away. But then I would never come back to it. Whereas now I can go, need a break, and I'm just going to go soothe my nervous system, and then I will come back to this conversation. Massive. If you just run away from the conversation and don't come back to it, nothing gets resolved. All it does is stack up this pile of unresolved stuff. Whereas being able to give yourself that break, soothe yourself, come back into yourself, and then continue the conversation and reach a resolution of some sort. By resolution, I don't necessarily mean a whole problem is fixed or massive things are changing, but even just finishing that conversation, that piece of it, that is so helpful in terms of relationship building and doing all the stuff that we're trying to do here. So yeah, there's been so many beautiful signs of growth, evidence of growth, expansion, holding so much more than I could have done before. Ooh, another sign of growth is that all of this is going on and I'm giving myself that permission to rest. And also I am not putting it all down and abandoning my business. So in the past, it might have been like, oh, I'm having hard days and I'm not going to post at all, or I'm going to just completely disappear from it. Or, I'd maybe I'd get out a post, but that would be literally all. Whereas I'm able to stay in my business and stay in the holding of my stuff and have space to hold things for other people. And they're like, I was going to say they're separate containers. They're not totally, because everything is everything. Like everything in our life is connected. And I have worked very intentionally to integrate all the parts of my life. So I used to have very compartmentalized life. And that didn't feel good to me. Like there was work stuff and then there was home stuff and there was fun stuff. And it was all but it was separate versions of me as well. And I've worked really hard to integrate all parts of me. So it is all related. But I have different energy buckets for different things sometimes. So, but in the past, yeah, it would have been that if one got depleted, if I had all this hard stuff going on personally, big stuff, I should say, not necessarily hard, but big, it depleted everything. And now I can have, because of those energetic boundaries that I talked about, I have energetic boundaries where it's I can hold this big stuff in my personal life and know how to care for that. And I can still show up in my business and do the amazing stuff here. And I can hold my clients and I can do the thinking and I can do like I said, this week was more of the taking on training, but I can hold all of that. And when friends have stuff going on, I can still hold the stuff for them and be there for them with that because it's all different. I've got the energetic boundaries in place that I can handle all that. So I can handle and hold so much more than previous versions of me because I have these tools, because I have these boundaries. And it's just incredible, basically. So that's been what's been going on. Okay, I'm going to move on to the question that I have for this week. And I love this one. So I'm going to read it to you. It's a little bit long, so I've got it up so I can read it to you. But it's a really good one, and it comes up in this specific context, but also a lot wider. So the question is, how do you know the difference between not being ready to date versus a fear of dating? So I went on a date last night with a really nice, available, mature guy. But available is not what I'm used to, so it immediately freaked me out. I can feel myself pulling back. How do I know if this is something to push through or if actually at the moment I'm just not ready to date? It's like a whole body reaction. I've woken up so anxious. And this, like I said, this is an absolutely beautiful question and can apply to so much more than just dating. it can apply to, how do I know the difference between this isn't the right move versus I'm just afraid of it? How do I know whether to push through or to listen to that? So yes, when you are not usually used to nice, available, mature guys, when you get that, it can be really freaky. The fact that it freaked out your nervous system makes a ton of sense, because something new coming in is like, your body's like, intruder, intruder. I don't know how to handle this. And this is something that is a continuous practice for me as well. So in the same way that I'm learning to trust myself, like this is deepening into it. This difference between what's the fear and what's actually not the right thing for me is something to continue to practice. But it comes down to, for me, first of all, getting really quiet with yourself. And this might be just sitting quietly, it might be meditating, it might be journaling, but starting to pull apart the pieces and really letting yourself check in with yourself on this. So fears for me are usually louder. They are usually like, they're actual words in my head and they're loud, and it's like, this is a bad idea because don't do that. What? He might seem available, but he might not be. What if he's secretly got a wife? Or like, I'll like, it's kind of loud in my face and obvious things. Whereas my intuition telling me something like, this isn't the right time for you, is usually much softer. It's often not even words. It's often just this knowing inside of me, this feeling, this knowing that is like, that's why it requires me to get quiet to listen, because the fears are like, blah, 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 blah. And I have to go, hang on, I'm listening in there. What is it you want to tell me? So, because I had this. So when it came time for me to start dating, I didn't think I was ready yet. And I was like, no, don't do it because. But actually, there was like, but just try it. Just go on the app. Just see what happens. And there was this little nudge inside of me that was like, give it a shot. Just make that move. And if I had only listened to my brain, I might still not be dating, to be honest. That nudge was like over 2 years ago. And I still might not be dating because my brain would keep coming up with reasons why this was a bad idea. But inside, I was like, yeah, go on then. Give it a try. So that's the sitting quiet with yourself. But then, like I said, also journaling. So pulling apart the pieces. And because it's probably a bit of both. There will be fears and there might be other stuff too. But so if you can journal out, like, what is it that I'm afraid of? What do I think is going to happen here? What would happen if I did get what I wanted? What would happen if he really was this nice, mature, available, emotionally intelligent person? And what then? Like, what would happen if it was what I wanted? And let yourself journal all that through and see what comes out. And often by the end of that, it's like, okay, I see those fears and I can soothe you. I can see you and go, you know what? Thank you for trying to keep me safe. And you don't get to be the decision maker here. You don't get to be the one to tell me what to do here. Because honestly, when you've been through a big traumatic breakup, when you are single parenting and you've got all this stuff going on and you've got that healing work to do, it's never done. So there's the fact that you're feeling a little bit afraid of this, like I said at the very beginning, makes sense. It doesn't have an end point to it. But we can still go out there and start to date while we're still doing our healing work. I always recommend doing a bunch of healing work first. Like, don't go out there with your heart just this raw, bloody mess. But I happen to know that you've done a bunch of this already. So you can continue to do this work whilst starting to put yourself out there, whilst starting to say, okay, I might go on this date. And don't put loads of pressure on it. Like, go on that first date and just enjoy it for what it is. And if I know you said you're freaking out, but if you're like, actually, there's something in me that's saying go on a second date, listen to that little nudge. Go on a second date. You're not talking about, are you going to marry this man? You're just going on the next date. So listen to the little nudges inside of you and have loads of compassion for yourself in it. Have loads of compassion for the fears that are making themselves known. They are there doing a job, and they are doing a damn good job of it, trying to keep you safe. So you can thank them for that. Have compassion for that, And then let yourself be the boss. Let your truest inside self be the boss instead of letting the fears be the one to make all the decisions. And something I should have said at the beginning of all that too was like when you said it was a full body reaction, waking up so anxious. Go back to the beginning of that and start with doing some nervous system calming. Feeling so anxious and your body being like, oh, not at all, it's because your nervous system is freaking out and is completely dysregulated. And I want you to come back to a more regulated position. So breathing work, doing some dancing, I'm a big fan of dance parties, doing some embodiment exercises to help you come back into your body and soothe your nervous system before doing anything else that I talked about. Will really help you come back to that place of calm. And from that more regulated body position, then you can start to see the other pieces more clearly. So rewind and stick that at the beginning of my chat, and then come back to these bits. Okay, I think that was probably everything. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say on that front. So I will leave you there. I will finish this off by saying that the big stuff in my life probably isn't going to resolve itself anytime soon. So I'm going to continue on with these practices. I'm going to continue on really honing in on my own support, my own trust, my own needs. And I am absolutely still here to hold all this for you guys and to show you how you can do these things too, because this was not just like natural and easy for me. This has come through lots of learning and growth, and I am so here to help you through it too, because I want all of us to get to places where we get to experience this growth and show up differently and just experience life in this whole different way than it used to be, because the benefits that I am getting from being in this position compared to like past versions of me, things feel so much better in so many ways. So I want that for you guys too. So I am very much still here and available for you for that too. If you want to book a call with me about one-to-one coaching, there is a link in my bio where you can book a free call with me. We can talk about the one-to-one coaching options. If you have anything else you want to talk about, jump on. You can also do a taster session with me. So we can either get on a free call to just talk about like, would this be a good fit? Or if you're like, no, I know I want a coaching session with you, not ready to book the whole package, but like I've got this thing and I want to talk about it, I want to talk about it now, you can also book a coaching taster session. They're £75 for 45 minutes, and we will get straight into whatever it is that you want to talk about. So there's lots. Let's just have a chat. That's what I'm saying. Use the link in my bio. Send me a message. Send me an email. It's easy to get in touch with me. I'm all over the internet, so you can contact me however you want, and we will chat, okay? All right, I will be back here next week, hopefully on Wednesday, like usual. And if you've got any questions for me, let me know those as well, and we will chat again soon. Okay, I love you all. Mwah.